good now. Yeah.
What kind of happened towards the tail end of the season for you?
Um, hurt my knee one of the last plays of the game for versus the Patriots, unfortunately. But I'm all good now.
What was it like for you towards the tail end of the season? Because up until that point, you haven't missed a snap.
Yeah, I haven't had that issue ever. You know, I haven't missed a game, high school, college, or ever up until that point. But you know, it's part of the game. It happens. But unfortunately, you know, I was kind of hoping I'd go my whole career without having to deal with that. You know. Yeah, I mean, honestly, to be the same position 2 years in a row, I've not done that since high school. So I'm excited for that. I think, you know, I'm trying to show the world that it's time for me to make the jump to be the best version of myself. And I believe the best version of myself is one of the best tackles in the game, but now it's time to show it. So to be back in a building, to work not only on myself individually, but as a leader on a team, that's something I'm also trying to work forward to. Not just trying to show it through my actions, but through trying to talk to rally the team and stuff like that. It's part of my next step as well. But I'm definitely excited to be on the same side. You know, 2 years. Yeah, honestly, I love to take time to just work on um, very like the base things, like my stance, just to stance in my start and I'll hold my hands. I think that's huge. You know, eventually I'll start to have like time where I start to simulate a pass rush, but again, I feel like it's the stance, it's how you hold your hands, and it's just like the balance that you have in your spot. I think that's huge, especially since I don't have a coach around me until once I got back to Arizona and I started to work um, not too far from here at with Charles Bentley and his group, which they're all phenomenal. Until then, when I was in Miami and I was by myself, I'm not trying to create any bad technique that nobody's like, hey, make sure you close your hip. Hey, make sure you work on this. I'm trying to work on the stuff I know I can feel and coach. So by the time I knew I got back to Arizona to start that work, I was, like the platform was the same. You know. Yes, for sure. I feel that way.
What's that look like to you?
Again, I think just being able to talk more with the team. I've always been the guy that's like, okay, as a team, just start to like. I kind of like to focus on the offensive line. You know, I like to talk just in my room specifically, but in regards to the whole team, I'm more like the yeller. Prefer the game out to yell and scream and push people and point in your face and grab your helmet. I'm not usually the guy that's like, guys, team, this is what we got to do. I don't lay out the details like, you know, like a head coach can or something. I'm like, we got to do this. And you know what I mean? They have to mute the audio. That's usually when I come in. I'm like the hype guy. So I think just trying to work on being able to communicate, not only on the hype side, but trying to communicate team goals, team stuff like that. I think that's a step that I'll have to take the calmer version of communicating. Not really. I think the last draft I really kind of analyzed was last year because I was trying to get Marvin in the building. I was trying to make sure the chips aligned for Marvin. But now that we have him, I'm good. You know, so, but again, I would love to see all my guys across all the schools um, that I've known through my own process there to make it, you know, to the teams that I think best suit them. But obviously, I'm kind of cheering for some of my guys to come here, especially on that Ohio State line. I'd love to see some of those guys in the room. Um, Obviously, not because I played with them, but because they're familiar with how we taught with Fry. Sorry, you know.
That's a fire.